Our guest tonight is former WWE and current AAA superstar Rey Mysterio. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, guys. Thank you very much for the opportunity to promote this big event coming up Sunday, August 9th.
Hey, listen, we're pumped as fans who haven't had a great chance to see AAA. We are pumped. The biggest news for guys like me, wrestling fans, is that you will be main eventing AAA's Triple Mania 23 against Miss Disease, formerly Sin Cara, to some of the American fans, in a dream match on Sunday, August 9th, on pay-per-view in America and Canada. For fans watching AAA for the first time, thanks to the English commentary, what can they expect from the show overall and from the main event between you and Miss Disease?
Well, that match is between Mr. C's and myself is a legacy-defining match. You know, there's a lot of animosity. There's a lot of egos that are going to come into play that night. And, I have to point out that this match was made for the fans, by the fans. The fans were the number one critics on who is better, Mr. C's or Rey Mysterio. You know, at one point I left Mexico to continue my career globally, and a new star came about, and that was formerly now known as Mr. C's, but back then was Mystical. And then, of course, he became Sin Cara when he joined the WWE, and now is Mr. C. So, yeah, I would have to say that the fans, in their eyes, they see a lot of similarities between Mr. C's, Rey Mysterio. We were able to tag at one point in the WWE, and now here we are against each other, thanks to the fans.
Mike Chiari, next question.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you and Miss Disease did team together for a time in WWE, and it almost seemed as though, there was always rumors about the two of you facing each other, and that match maybe even possibly happening at WrestleMania. How close do you think that match came to happening in WWE, and why do you think it never did happen in WWE?
I think with this answer, I'll probably knock both questions out, but due to the fact that I had already previous injuries on top of my knee, that put me on the bench for quite some time. And when I came back, we started teaming with each other, and we were going somewhere, I believe. No really concrete storyline, but we were going out there and we were putting on one hell of a show for the fans. And I think we were barely in that stage of getting the fans acclimated with our style, with them knowing who Mr. C's was. But again, his injuries came into play as well. And then, of course, the release and whatever other issues might have gone down between him and the company, if any. And then later on, my release, me not wanting to re-sign with the WWE, we kind of just parted ways, So we really didn't give WWE the time to invest in both names in the product. But now it's happening here with AAA.
Brandon Galvin?
You're often credited by fans as being one of the most influential luchadors in wrestling history, especially when it comes to your impact on pro wrestling in America. I know this was a long time ago, but do you recall getting that sense when you were first working ECW and WCW, or do you look back now and feel that you were a pioneer?
I think I look back now and feel blessed that I was a pioneer for that style. And I need to pause for a second and mention that I think the one person that opened up the doors for us was definitely Eddie Guerrero. He was the first runner-up with ECW, and he was having great matches with Dean Malenko at the time and Benoit. And then, of course, when Eddie was signed with WCW, Paul Lee talked to Conan. Conan came in, and of course, then Conan brought us along, Psychosis, Juventud, Barca, and myself. We kind of replaced Eddie's style, and we gave the fans a treat of Lucha Libre. And then, of course, we left the WCW and so on and so on. But it's now that I go back and think, wow, we really opened up the eyes of the North American audience to witness what Lucha Libre is all about, and how much it's not just a style of wrestling, it's part of our culture.
Oh, well, you mentioned before, talking about your end of your WWE run, there were plenty of rumors surrounding why and how you departed WWE, including the company flew you to Buffalo for a special meeting and then extended your deal without your approval, all kinds of stuff. That's the dirt sheets. That's what they do. Can you address
Right.
the validity of these reports and why truly you decided it was time to leave WWE earlier this year?
Well, the initial meet in Buffalo, actually, it went well. They both parties agreed to continue on moving forward with the Rey Mysterio brand, and there was no rumors, no animosity, no bad feelings between both of us, But I guess they realized that I didn't feel like re-signing with the company due to the fact that I had a large amount of injuries on top of my body. And that was my number one cause for being on the bench for so long. So at the end of the day, when the negotiation came about of re-signing, they were okay with me wanting to depart and do my own thing. So there was no held back. There was no hard feelings between both parties. And we departed both in an amicable way, So it was. I think they realized it was my time to think for myself and to act upon myself, and that's probably the best thing I could have done after so many years. I'm able to rest. My body feels 1,000 times better, and I'm calling my own shots. I'm doing things that I wasn't doing, or that I've never been able to do throughout my career, because I've never had the freedom to do them. Now I do.
Oh, well, you're talking about calling your own shots. Going back, a lot of veterans who have gone back to WWE in recent years who have kind of depicted their own schedule, depicted what they do. Would you be open to returning to the WWE later on in your career once you're satisfied with what you're doing in AAA and stuff? But just would you be open to going back eventually if you could choose your career, choose your path, choose what you were doing?
Yes, of course. And I think that's what every wrestler or superstar or slash whatever you want to call it. It's been changed so many times throughout the years. I don't think there's anything better than to dictate your own future and to not overwork your body. You can't be running on fuel constantly, especially as you're getting older. You don't see the same Rey Mysterio that you saw when he was 25 years old. So I think it's good to understand again from both ends that I can't deliver as I used to when I first signed with the WWE. So in order to make talent last, you got to make sure you take care of them.
Mike Chiari?
Well, Lucha Underground is a promotion that's picked up a ton of steam over the past year, and it's a company that I think many fans have kind of naturally linked you to since it has a good working relationship with AAA. So if and when the second season of Lucha Underground is green-lighted, what are the odds we'll see you working with them? What's your level of interest there?
I'm a big fan of their product, and I do watch their product on occasions. And I think they're doing a wonderful job. I think it's great that they're giving the opportunity to expose the future talent of AAA. And sometimes I pause and think if we just had that type of promotion going on back when AAA was filled with the Psychosis, the Juventudes, the Parkas, the Pentagons, Conans, etc. Lucha Libre would have been introduced years ago to the States. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and I think everything has its time to be exposed. And now it is, and it's happening through Lucha Underground. But at the end of the day, if the deal was right and and I see that it's something that I would be interested in, I don't see why not. As much as if the opportunity came to ever come back with WWE on a 50-50 term base from both ends, I would do it as well. So yeah, it's good to know that you have options, and when those options come, I'll probably be the first to jump on it if it's in favor for both parties.
Brandon Galvin?
There's been so many exciting chapters so far in your career. My personal favorite was when you made your debut in WWE and you were working with the likes of Kurt Angle, Edge, Eddie Guerrero, among others. Was that a special time for you from an in-ring perspective? And is there a point in time where you feel like you were having the best matches of your career?
I definitely think that was probably a good phase that I was living. Like you said, I had so many great opponents and teammates around me that we were able to perform at a very high level. I had Eddie with me. I had Edge. I had Kurt Angle. I had Triple H was still around, and he was doing his thing. But the roster in general for WWE, SmackDown, and Raw was stacked. I mean, Rock was still around. So it was definitely one of the funnest stages in my career that I had, and I would have to say as well the most memorable stage as far as giving the best matches that I had within me.
Well, one interesting note is that you worked for Paul Heyman in ECW, Eric Bischoff in WCW, and Vince McMahon in WWE. All kinds of bosses there. The whole gamut. You've covered it. Using your unique perspective, what are some of the differences between these three men, and who did you enjoy working for the most?
They're all very different, and we left out Antonio Pena, the creator of AAA, who I think. God rest his soul. That he was the first one to see what was behind Rey Mysterio and gave me the opportunity to become nationally known. But with all those four bosses that I've had throughout my career, they're all very different. Geniuses: Pena, Paulie, and Vince. Marketing wise. Character-wise, they were just on top of their game, and I think the fact that it was their company and it was their obligation, their opportunity to take wrestling to another level, and they have, they all did at their time, and I just feel blessed that I was able to work with all three human beings. Two of them are still around. One is no longer, or actually I don't know where Eric is at right now in his life. But and Pena, rest in peace. But I feel honored to be able to be a part of all four major companies at one point in my career.
Mike Chiari?
You're obviously one of the most accomplished and popular superstars in WWE history. But unfortunately, one of your last matches in WWE was the 2014 Royal Rumble. And, surprisingly to a lot of fans, you're actually booed as the 30th entrant because fans so badly wanted to see Daniel Bryan come out in that spot. Looking back, do you feel like you were unfairly put in kind of a no-win situation? Are there any hard feelings from you about the way that played out?
No hard feelings. Yeah, if there's one thing that I've learned how to do throughout the years of being in this industry is never been political about certain things, and I've always taken things lightly, even throughout my whole life. So at the moment, I couldn't really understand what was going on. Until after the match, and I was able to digest everything. And sure enough, it was the fact that the fans weren't given what they wanted to see. And at one point, I remember even speaking to Conan about it and told him, I said, oh my God, I said, if it would have just hit me as I was walking down to the ring, why the fans were booing, I would have went back into gorilla position and asked Dan O'Brien to come out, and I would just have given him my spot, for him to be number 30.
BG?
You have been a massively popular fan favorite throughout your entire career for the most part, and especially the last 15 years. Was there ever a time where you wanted to turn heel and see how it would be to play a villain?
I think that actually happened some sort of way after I lost my mask and the Filthy Animals were created. That was the first time that I was able to experiment what it felt like working without the mask. And in a way, like I said, not be a complete babyface, but be like in between. And it was more of a cocky Rey Mysterio, new stage in his career, no mask. So I was able to play with the fans a little bit more and interact in a dirty way, which was actually kind of cool. I really enjoyed that phase of my life, especially not having the mask, which I thought was going to be a heartbreaker.
Oh, a huge thanks to wrestling legend Rey Mysterio. Thank you for coming on the show. Catch him stealing the show Sunday at AAA's Triple Mania on pay-per-view. Tell the fans where they can support you and AAA, Ray.
Yeah, well, AAA is having the huge event of the year, which is Triple Mania 23. Keep in mind that I was part of the first Triple Mania when it first went down in Mexico City. Here we come again with one of the biggest pay-per-views. You'll be able to watch it on any satellite carrier for only $29.99 HD. Check it out. Non-stop action. The future of AAA, Lucha Libre, hair versus hair match, Alberto El Patron versus Brian Cage. And again, I have to emphasize the fact that if you've never seen Lucha Libre and you've always wondered what it was or what it is or what it would be like in the future, hopefully this door that is opening to AAA into North America will continue to expose AAA's Lucha Libre style, our culture. You'll be able to check it out for the very first time this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, August 9th, straight from Mexico City. Check it out.
We are so excited. Thank you again for your time, Rey Mysterio.
Thank you, guys.